I got everything except time. Does that sound familiar? Well, if it seems as if time is just slipping away, then your retirement strategy cannot wait another minute. Now, I know you already know this, but you still haven't taken time to take any steps to start growing your nest egg. And so I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but you may be suffering from unconscious procrastination. But stay tuned, because I will explain what unconscious procrastination is and how it affects your retirement planning. And I'm also going to give you a super easy but fun way to start planning for retirement. Okay? Alright, and so if you are new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am a licensed health and life insurance broker and paralegal. And I help women entrepreneurs to grow, protect, and secure their finances using a personalized strategy based on their financial goals and risk tolerance. And so if you would like to create your own personalized strategy, you can book a free consultation with me, okay? You can also check out my resources to help you learn how to properly purchase insurance and how to manage your finances, all right? And so the link is in the description of this video. All right, so let's jump into it. Now, if you are watching this video, then that means that you care about your finances and you want to make sure that you are covered during your retirement. But unconscious procrastination has kept you from actually sitting down and starting the planning process. Now, you may be thinking, what the hell is unconscious procrastination? Okay, unconscious procrastination is when you put off doing something that you know you need to do, but you're not putting it off because it's something that you want to avoid. You're actually doing it because you don't see it as important at the moment, okay? And so one reason that you may unconsciously procrastinate is because you may be frustrated with being behind and being behind in your retirement savings, and you don't know which way to go to get started. Or you may be overwhelmed with all of the differing financial advice being given out, and so it feels like you will never get a grasp on it and be able to achieve financial security with a peace of mind, okay? And so I totally understand how you feel, and that is why I did this video, because we no longer have the luxury to put off planning and saving for retirement. I mean, just look at the financial climate in the United States. It is showing us that there is no more time to waste, and the longer that you unconsciously procrastinate on planning and saving for retirement, the less you could potentially have in your retirement savings. And as a woman, that could be hugely detrimental, okay? And so now, if this message is resonating with you, then it's time for you to start planning now and not later, okay? And now as in today, okay? All right, so see, when you wait, right? Let's talk about the cost of waiting, okay? See, time is your greatest ally when it comes to retirement, okay? To your retirement investing. And so delaying even a few years can mean thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars lost to potential growth, okay? And so the sooner that you start saving, the better, okay? So if you are watching this and you are in your 30s, then now is the time. If you're in your 40s and you're watching this, now is the time. 50s, 60s, it doesn't matter. Now is the time, right? You've put it off unconsciously for so long to where it's like, no, you cannot keep putting it off, okay? Now the reason that you want to start sooner rather than later is so that you can capitalize on the power of compounding interest, okay? Compounding interest is a powerful tool that allows you to grow your money faster, because interest is calculated on the accumulated interest over time as well as on your original principal, okay? And so compounding can create a snowball effect. And as the original investments plus the interest earned from those investments, they grow together, right? And so as they're growing, it just makes the snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and so you want to start as soon as possible so that you can start taking advantage of the compounding interest. Okay, so here's a quick little example just to give you something to think about. Okay, so starting to invest, the difference between you starting to invest at $1,000 a month at age 35 versus age 45. Okay, so at age 65, both women who there's two women, right? One woman started investing at 35 and one started investing at 45. Well, the one who started at 35 is going to have significantly more than the woman who started at 45, because she had a whole 10-year head start to take advantage of compound interest. Okay. And so the cost of delay is substantial. Now, as I'm presenting this information to you, I'm not saying this for you to beat yourself up or to feel bad because you didn't start at 35 and now you're 45, or you didn't start at 35 and now you're 40. That's not why I'm saying this. The whole purpose of this is to bring it to your awareness that, hey, maybe I am unconsciously procrastinating because it feels like retirement is, far away, when in reality, retirement is not far away. And I need to sit down and focus on this and get the ball rolling so that I am in a good position once I really do, start approaching retirement. Okay, so that is the purpose of this video, and honestly, that is the purpose of any of my content. When I talk about retirement planning and I talk about you need to start now, it's to get you out of that unconscious procrastination. Okay, all right, and so again, the cost of delaying your financial planning and savings is substantial. Okay, and so if you're still thinking, I'll just handle retirement later, then you are going to be shortchanging yourself out of a lot of money. Okay, and you can't be pissed off at nobody but yourself. Okay. So now let me know in the comments, do you think that you have been unconsciously procrastinating when it comes to your retirement and your legacy planning? Okay, and if you are enjoying this content, please do give it a thumbs up, and that lets YouTube know to share it out to other women entrepreneurs. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some powerful retirement tools that you can use that can help you to really capitalize on compound interest. Now, which tools offer the best leverage when time is scarce? Okay, my favorite product that I absolutely love, that is amazing at compound interest and all of the things, is Index Universal Life. Okay. Index Universal Life is a powerful tool that really takes advantage. It really utilizes compound interest to the absolute fullest. Okay, but the great thing that I absolutely love about Index Universal Life is that it has a floor, meaning that, and normally the floor is at 0%. Okay, so and another thing is that which is my favorite thing, is that it's just linked to the markets. It is not actually tied in with the market. Okay, and so the floor, this is where the floor comes in, because if the markets were to go down, okay, say this is your IUL and this is the market, and so the market went down, your IUL doesn't go down, okay, but the market goes up, your IUL goes up as well, okay. And so that is the beauty of Index Universal Life. On top of that, it has the amazing growth potential from the compound interest. It has very, very favorable tax advantages, very flexible to your access to your cash. Obviously, you got to let it sit in there for a while, so at least 7 to 10 years. I like to, that's just my recommendation, is 7 to 10 years, letting it sit in there. Now, once you get an illustration done, they'll start to show you, it'll explain to you, and you can see the projected growth over time, right? But the best thing about it too is that while you can use it and access the cash for your retirement savings, you also have the death benefit as well, that will be paid out. Okay, so it's an amazing product. It is like one of the GOATs when it comes to capitalizing using compound interest, right, to grow your money. Okay, now the next product is annuities. Okay, and now I know annuities are normally marketed to older individuals, so around say 55, 60 and up. And there's a lot of drawbacks that people have with annuities because, it kind of locks your money in. You don't have access to the cash, when you want to. And they do, depending on which annuity you have, it may have some fees and different charges and things. But in my professional opinion, annuities overall, the good outweighs the bad when it comes to annuities, in my opinion. Because with an annuity, especially if you're like around 40, say you're 40, 45, an annuity is a great way to stash money and compound interest, okay? Because it kind of can be like your own personal Social Security account, okay? Whereas now the government is not managing and giving you a portion of what you paid. And it's what you put in the account, and then it's compounding over time. And so if you're just letting it sit there, if you get one, say you're 45 and you go and you get an annuity, so you put $10,000 in this annuity and you just let it sit until you're 65, 67, 68, and then you start, withdrawing from it. That is a predictable stream of income that can last the rest of your life, and depending upon, how you set it up, could potentially last and be for your beneficiaries, to pay out to your beneficiaries. Okay, so it's a very powerful tool, and I think one that more people should look into to see if it is a fit for them and their financial situation. Okay, annuities, they guarantee lifetime income streams, and they also provide a peace of mind and stability. And so if you are somebody who is very conservative when it comes to your money, an annuity would be a extremely perfect product for you to take a look at. Okay, the last one that I want to talk about is tax-free growth accounts. And so this would be things like a Roth IRA. Okay, because with Roth IRAs you get tax-free withdrawals during retirement. Index Universal Lives you do as well, because with both of those products, it is pre-taxed. It is not pre-tax, it's post-tax monies that are added into those policies, okay, into those accounts. And so you when you withdraw, you do get the tax-free withdrawal in retirement. Okay, so it what also you have to look at it from a tax planning component as well, because you're going to have some investments or some savings and things. Like if you're 401k, you're going to have to pay tax on that when you take it out, because it is pre-tax monies. Okay, so you're not paying tax on the money that goes in, but you do have to pay money on the tax that comes out. Okay, so you want to have a balanced, holistic approach to your savings vehicles, because you don't want a lot of tax heavy vehicles that's going to be taking more money away from you in retirement. So you want to have that balanced. Okay, now on May 15th, I am going to be hosting a class on tax-free retirement accounts. And so it's going to be absolutely free. It's a master class, and I'm going to go in depth on what tax-free retirement accounts are. I'm going to give you some, also break down tax-free retirement accounts so that you understand what they are, and you can kind of start getting start figuring out, okay, what vehicles do you want to utilize in order to start saving to and growing your retirement nest egg. Okay, that is going to be May 15th. Is a Thursday at 8 p.m. and the link to register is going to be in the description of this video. Okay, all right, and so now here is a easy but fun way to start planning for retirement. So I told you I was going to give you just a quick, easy way that you can start planning for retirement. Okay, and your retirement roadmap should be unique because you are unique. Okay, and so the first thing you want to do is to start defining your ideal retirement lifestyle. Okay, so first off, the first thing is, normally when I talk about this, when I teach this, I talk about where do you want to live, right? And the reason I say that is because you have to look at the taxes. If you are moving from a state, say you are here in Florida and you want to retire to, say, North Carolina, okay, you have to look at the states and see if they do a state tax, right? Because here in the state of Florida, there is no state tax. Okay, moving to North Carolina, I think they do have a state tax, but it depends on the income bracket. See, here in Florida, it doesn't matter. There is no income tax for the state, right? So that is an additional expense you would incur if you moved from a state that didn't have state tax to a state that has state tax. Okay, so you have to take that into account. But I think now the one thing that I want you to think about when you first get started is, how much money do you think you will realistically need every year for retirement? Okay, so say right now you make, say, $80,000 a year, right? Do you want to go down? Okay, do you want to realistically bringing in $80,000 a year just to maintain your lifestyle, or do you want to be bringing in, say, $100,000 or $110,000 just to have extra so that you can be able to travel and, you know what I'm saying, do all of the things, right? How much do you realistically think you're going to need, right? And then you want to look at what lifestyle experiences are going to be non-negotiable for you. Okay, is travel going to be something that is non-negotiable for you in retirement? Okay, is a lot of people travel is, I don't know, maybe you want to go back to school, in retirement and learn something new, not to make an income, but just because it's something that you've always been interested in and you really want to go back and you want to learn about it, right? Like, what things are going to be non-negotiable for you? Are you going to want to get up early in the morning? Are you going to want to be a late owl? Like, start thinking about how you want your lifestyle to be. And when you look at the money that you want to have, that will help you to craft how you want to experience life. Because if you want to be able to consistently travel, then that you need to be bringing in, if right now you're making 80 a year and you're probably not traveling as much as you want, especially with working or whatever. But once you retire, you're like, I don't want to do all that. I want to travel all the time. When my kids call me, I want to be like, where are you? Because we know you're not in the United States. We know you ain't home, so where you at? Right? So if that's what you want, then you need to look at, how much a year am I going to have above what I'm currently doing now while working in order to be able to fund that? Because you want to be able to be comfortable and to do what you want to do, and because that's what you want to do, and not have to restrict yourself because of your finances. Okay, so you look at how much you need annually, and then you start building your experiences from there, and then which also ties into where you want to live. Okay, the answers from these questions form your personalized retirement plan. Okay, and so it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long for you to sit down. And the one thing about retirement plans is that they are not static. They are very fluid. And so you might decide that you want to do a whole lot of traveling now, and then later on you might say, you know what, I still want to travel, but not as much as I thought I did. So it's always adjustable, right? But once you have an idea of what you want, then you can put a plan into place, because you can never have too much money. Okay, like, let's just clear that up. So whether you change your mind or not, if you put your goal at, say, you want to be able to bring in 110 every year while you're in retirement, then you're going to set your goal. You may not even use the whole $110, because you might have decided that you don't want to, which means you will always have money overflowing into the next year. So you'll always be in a surplus. But the whole point is to start something, get a plan in place, start executing on the plan. You can always adjust as you go. Okay. But when you wait around to actually get the plan in place, then it's like you start scrambling, because you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm 50 years old and retirement is in 15 years. What am I going to do? Then you start scrambling, right? And so you want to avoid that. You want to start now that it's been brought to your attention. Start now. You can always build and make changes, later. Okay. Now, I do have my retirement playlist. I will link it in the description of this video, because the retirement playlist goes a lot more in depth on each section of building your plan, of the planning process. It also takes you through the funding of the plan, and also talks about distribution, because the distribution phase of your retirement plan is very important. It's really probably the most important, because how you set up your distribution of your retirement funds will determine whether or not you have enough money to last you throughout retirement. Okay, so each phase is very, very important. And in the retirement playlist, I go and I break down each one of those phases. So you want to go check out the retirement playlist, okay? Alrighty. And so if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. The goal is to always provide you with practical, actionable financial advice to help you to take control of your future. Now, if you would like to book a consultation with me to discuss your to set up a personalized strategy for your retirement and insurance needs, then you can do so via the link of this description. Also, if this video helped you, please do give it a thumbs up and share it out with another woman entrepreneur or professional who needs to see this video, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content that I provide on this channel. Okay. And remember, this way to secure your financial future is to protect it now, because no one is coming to save you later. Okay? Have a good one, and check out the retirement playlist.